Welcome back to another Sims 4 leak video. The Sims 4 is very leaky right now. Perhaps EA should invest in some incontinence pads. So as you know, yesterday the Sims team did do this roadmap. I'm using roadmap in inverted commas because they've basically turned one thing, which is a new pack release, into 6 different things, which is awfully dramatic. I feel like the whole point of a roadmap is when you have like multiple things to announce, not just one thing stretched across multiple different days, but whatever. Following on from this, guys, okay, we have actually gotten a leak, and I don't want you to get overexcited. Like, it's not the biggest leak in the world, but it's still pretty cool. Before we get into the rest of the content, today's video is sponsored by Instant Gaming. You can get pretty much any video game, including popular new trending releases, at very great discounted prices. And this also includes Sims 4 expansion packs, which are often more than 60% off all the time. Instant Gaming is legit, it's safe and easy to use. And by using Instant Gaming to purchase your favorite games, you also help to support my channel. I will put the link to Instant Gaming in the bio of pretty much every video that I upload, so make sure you check it out there. Thank you so much again to Instant Gaming for sponsoring today's video. So let's take a look, shall we? Shall I just move my big fat head out of the way? There we go. So this is the screenshot that we've got, and we're going to be able to zoom in and look at different things together. So this is the leak. I don't know if this is a promo image. I'm assuming it is. And obviously the world is going to have 3 neighborhoods this time round, rather than the last expansion pack, which only had 2. So that's one above it. And I just want to say the middle one looks cool, but the other 2 look pretty bad. I want to start on the left because this is what made me think, oh my God, like what the fuck is this? So you can see that this place, it has a lot of like curvy roofs all over it, so it's going to be verified. But then I thought these buildings look really shit. I'm assuming these are rabbit holes because EA wouldn't put this many good like normal buildings in, but you can see this teal colored building is obviously a real building, and you can see how bad and ugly it looks. Like they're using all base game stuff here. This was definitely not made by an EA creator. Sometimes EA hires their creators to put like builds in the packs and stuff, but this time round it looks like they've done it all themselves instead of hiring a creator. And I know this because it looks shit, so I'm really hoping this is a prototype. And these buildings back here are so fucking ugly. And I just want to say, like, the world itself, if we just look at the left please and ignore the middle and the right for now, does it not look like Willow Creek? It's got the same base game trees, the same base game like terrain and flooring. It doesn't really look new, unique, or inspired in any way. In fact, it looks very uninspired. Look, they've even got the base game debug cars in the corner. This is just crap looking. I can see one new object, which is like, I just want to say, I reckon we are going to have either a greengrocer's or a florist or something in this pack. And that's because we also have some more plants and stuff down here, which we're going to later. But focusing on this, you can see there is a gnome here, and in every single recent Sims 4 world, they love to add one big object of interest where you can just like click on it and view it, and you'll get a weird pop-up or something. Obviously this town is all about gnomes. This is a gnome town, and I'm sure there's loads of fake gnome lore. You can see there's a gnome, I don't even know what this is, hook a gnome like mini game or something. Can you see what this is? Probably just another food stall, but it's got some gnome thing. Other than that, all I'm seeing is pretty much base game. I'm really hoping this is just an early render, not the official thing. Ironically, there's no fairies there. Though if we go into, we'll ignore the middle. Yes, we can see fairies. I just want to look on the right because the right hand bit clearly looks like a more foresty kind of area. So this is obviously going to be a bar. EA love putting a bar or a nightclub in every single pack that they release. And it looks like on the roof trim, this pack's going to come with a brand new roof trim, which has got the like lights going on across it, which looks very pretty. I'm assuming it's a roof trim. I think that this pack's probably going to be quite popular for build mode, being quite mystical and with lights like that. And then I guess, as I said, we've got like these pallets here. So very industrial, and some boxes as well. And these are like the base game plants, but it looks like they've just duplicated the base game plant objects over and over again on these. So I don't know if compared to this as well, we've got like the plants outside the shop. I don't know if we're gonna have some kind of floristry thing or something like that. As I said, really got no idea. Even though these roofs use the basic roof swatch in the base game, if we look on the far right, you can barely see. It looks like there's a new roof swatch. You can see only a really tiny bit of this, but it looks like something new. And then is it on this one or this one? Yeah, you can kind of see at the back here. This is definitely a new roof swatch on there. And then we've got another area of interest, which is going to be where they pretend to make the world feel open world and they pretend to add lore into it. But really, it's not that special. Though this looks like somebody doing a fairy thing. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're doing something. And then we've got a person sleeping under a bush. Fantastic. Two people arguing. Is there anything else? This person walking along here. But other than that, I can't see anything special of interest in the right-hand section. And then we will look into the middle section. So obviously the first thing that might catch your eye is this like palacey thing back here. The roof does it look like a normal roof? I don't know about anybody else, but roofs are actually like really glitchy for me recently. I don't know if we're going to get a roofing update, but you can see that there's these different like bush thing, like the grass that goes on the roof, which to be fair is actually quite pretty, isn't it really? You can see, is this a new roof swatch and a new wall swatch? I can't tell completely. It does look like the columns and is it called a spandrel or something around the edge looks new. So we've also got, oh, look at this roof here. Maybe it's new, I'm not too sure. But this appears to be like a little fairy house. I'm just assuming, guys, I think it doesn't look like a fairy world. It looks base game. Guys, this is all base game like stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of, even this wall is base game. I have a really bad feeling about this pack based on the screenshot. This appears to be another area of interest, although it probably won't be anything. It's probably just decorative only, knowing the Sims team. I feel like we've seen most of these plants before, although a few of them look quite different. So I'm assuming this is like the magical fairy part of the world and the ones on the side of the human part of the world. And then we've got the different fairies, as you can see. Oh, another swing set. Just we really needed one of those, guys. So this is what the fairy looks like. This one has crooked wings, and this one is doing some kind of spell on another sim, as you can see. And this, guys, this looks like Shanice, doesn't it? Tell me right now. This looks like Shanice. She's even wearing pink. And then this looks like Chantal, because Chantal wears purple and it's got her hair. This genuinely looks like Shanice and Chantal in these screenshots. You can't tell me otherwise. So it looks like they're wearing fairy themed outfits. It looks like maybe they've tried to go traditional fairy with the outfits. I can't quite tell. The skin tone looks extremely pink here. I wonder if we get new like custom skin tones for fairies. I'm not too sure. It certainly looks, I don't know how it, because it's just so small. I have heard a rumor that the fairies will actually look similar to the spooky stuff fairy costumes, which I'm hoping it won't be. This can't be an official screenshot because like these images look really bad. Do you know what I mean? Shall I bring myself back now? We're done kind of looking. Don't you agree with me that these just look like really bad for no reason? And I just don't understand. It doesn't even look like there's that much new build stuff. And you think if you're making like a fairy house, you'd want all this mystical looking architecture. Do you know what I mean? It's not giving fairy. And I feel like making fairy houses is a very difficult thing to do in The Sims, and I'll show you why. Just by looking up fairy houses on Google, you can see that they don't follow The Sims' kind of traditional look, if you know what I mean. I think it would hard to pull off all of this like crookedy stuff in The Sims, but can I just say, okay, this is what I imagined. Imagine having like miniature fairies. See, this is what I thought would happen. Okay, I thought fairies would be able to size down and you could play as them size down, because in the previous Sims 4 games and in the fairies mod for The Sims 4, fairies can size down, but you can't really play as them size down. It's only just for like minor interactions. What I assume would be the case in the fairy world is that you size down and then like all of the trees, for example, look massive and you're basically miniature. Like I thought the fairy world itself, I just feel like that would have been such an ambitious and cool idea if they made it so like the fairy world itself, you become miniature and then like everything else around you is like big in the world. I don't know how they would have been able to pull that off with like build mode. It probably would have been quite difficult. I just feel like the fairy world, okay, like obviously the set dressing and like the color filter that they've used is aesthetic. It just doesn't feel to me like fairies. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't scream this is where all the fairies live. It doesn't scream like fantasy, fanatical, like fairy forest. I feel like you guys will agree with me in saying that maybe the world looks pretty, but it doesn't look like a fairy world. At the right, what we've got is something that looks very base game Willow Creeky. Even on the left base game Willow Creeky, even on the right as well. It kind of reminds me of the cottage living world a little bit. Honestly, even looking a little bit like Newcrest. And then on the middle as well, it looks pretty, but it's just like this kind of fairy house. It doesn't look like a fairy house. It looks like Realm of Magic leftovers. And those of you who know the Realm of Magic pack will know how diabolical the lots are in there. I am praying, if anybody from EA is watching this video, the Sims team, I just want to say is constructive, not bitchy criticism, but just genuine constructive feedback. Hire people in the EA Creator Network to make your builds and make sure you last minute create some fairy architecture that you wanted to put in this pack in order to make sure it looks like a fairy world, because right now this is giving the Realm of Magic world, and that's an insult for those of you who haven't seen the Realm of Magic pack world, because it's pretty diabolical. So I'm really praying that we get a little bit more going on here, especially considering this is an expansion pack rather than a game pack. I can definitely see, by the way, why we've got 3 areas compared to some of the other more recent expansion packs which only had 2, because all of the other occults, they have been game packs. So to make this occult an expansion pack, they are going to have to really justify it by expanding, by giving us lots of build stuff, lots of world, lots of CAS. I'm expecting them to bloat this pack with not much gameplay, but definitely a lot of assets. See, I would have just loved to have a teapot, for example, even if it was like one of those Batu builds. Do you know the Batu builds where it's like you can kind of go in but you can't edit it, or even like the city living apartments, honestly, where maybe you can't edit the outside but you can actually go into it. Like that's the kind of vibe I would have loved, because this is what I think when I think of fairy, like this cute little house here. What I do not think of is this. So I feel like EA's missing the mark and I'm really terrified right now. Especially, look at this, it looks shit. Please tell me this is an early render. Come on, EA. It's so funny to me that like Sims 4 packs typically leak in their entirety before it's even been announced. And it's just so funny to me. We haven't even got the initial trailer and we've already got screenshots. We don't know if these are very early on screenshots, but well, just one screenshot. But based on how it looks, guys, I have a feeling this is how the pack's going to be. And I am very worried about how it looks, because it just feels like very minimal effort with all of the base game assets and not much new ones. So my hopes of the pack have definitely gone down, and I just want to say, please wait for my review before a pack comes out, before pre-ordering it, because you do get the pre-order bonus a couple of months after the pack has been released. So don't pre-order packs. Always wait for my unsponsored by EA reviews, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future Sims 4 news. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one.